Okay. Hello, everyone. This is my case study number 3 presentation for the comfort class transport case. In this presentation, I will be covering the cause analysis tool I used to identify the potential causes of CCT's performance gaps. I will then be discussing potential interventions that could be used to address these causes. And then lastly, I'll be showing the 2 intervention selection tools I utilized to help inform my final decision on which intervention would be the most appropriate to move forward with. Without further ado, let's get started. As previously identified in case study number 2, there is a performance gap of 18% of customers who hang up before speaking with a CSR instead of turning to other competitors for their ride services. To find out the cause of this performance gap, I decided to give another try at the 5 whys model. Well, I guess in this case, I used the 6 whys instead. From case study number 2, I was encouraged to think deeper about the potential causes and to lock down deeper system and process level issues. That feedback in turn informed my decision making process when using this tool again. I began the 6 whys cause analysis with these questions. So my first question was, excuse me. Why are 18% of comfort class transportation customers hanging up before speaking with a customer service rep? Customers are hanging up before speaking with a CSR due to long hold times on the phone. Second, why are the customers experiencing long hold times on the phone? The CSRs who are working on the phones are being inundated with incoming callers. Why are CSRs being inundated with incoming callers? All customers, no matter what their reasoning for the call is, are being directed to calling the call center. Why are all of the customers being directed to the call center? Well, CCT's website refers all customers to the call center. Why does CCT's website refer all of their customers to the call center? Yes, CCT would rather book customers' orders through a live CSR as opposed to online / through an automated system. And lastly, why does CCT rather schedule everything through a CSR rather than an automated or digital system? Based on customer surveys, there seems to be a lack of trust in the confirmation process if it did not come from a professional sounding human voice. As you can see, I decided to add an additional question to dig a little deeper into the potential causes. This in turn led me to identify the 2 potential causes for this performance gap. The performance gaps I identified are either all customers are being directed to the website, which is leading to a clogged phone system because CCT is insistent that each order needs to be handled by a CSR, which in turn raises call volume and wait time for customers. Another potential cause would be the automated system that is in place does not provide comfort to the customers, and as such, they are naturally gravitating towards wanting to speak with a CSR instead. Furthermore, CCT is lacking a robust booking system on their website, which again are forcing customers to use the call center for any orders or other inquiries. As you can see, there seems to be a vicious cycle that is being perpetuated by the processes and technology that CCT is employing. With these 2 potential causes identified, I then began to look into the potential interventions. The 2 interventions I came up with would be the system level intervention technology upgrade, which would be assessing any outdated programs, equipment, or technology that is causing a delay in the process. The second intervention that I came up with would be at the process level, process redesign, which is analyzing the current process and figuring out a way to reallocate the inputs, controls, and resources as they enter the process. I chose technology upgrade as a potential intervention as it was stated in the case study that there is a lack of trust in the automatic caller system, excuse me. Customers only trust that the confirmation will successfully go through if it's coming from a professional sounding voice. As such, an intervention to assess the current automated system to figure out what part of the system is deterring customers would be beneficial for this company. Also, updating the website and implementing some type of booking system or updating its general function would help with reducing the amount of callers being directed to the call system. For the second intervention, the process level intervention of process redesign, I think it would be a good idea for the company to assess how the calls are being directed and distributed amongst the CSRs and in general, figuring out if technology, and also figuring out if technology does need to change. In the case study, it was noted that the website refers all of its customers to the call center due to CCT's need for schedules, pricing, wait times, and so on and so forth. They say that they are dependent on each individual ride, and as such, brainstorming different types of changes to the website that could help reduce the inundation of calls to the center would be a crucial step in the redesign of the process. Also, even though most other internal systems are automated, there still is a need for at least one incoming phone call, specifically for scheduling pickups and routes. Also, outgoing confirmation and reminder calls are also made by the CSRs. With all of that being said, there is potentially a need to assess what types of tasks truly need to be managed by a CSR, and also figure out which tasks could be conducted by a new and improved automated system, which could either look like a phone tree or the website respectively. While grappling with the two potential interventions, I decided to use the following intervention selection tools. The first of which would be the criteria matrix. I decided to use a scale ranging from low, medium, and high to help distinguish which would be the easiest to most difficult to apply, as well as the level of support that upper management as a whole would have towards the intervention. The 5 criteria that was weighed against the interventions include cost, time, feasibility, management support, and negative impacts. So as you can see, for the technology upgrade, it scored high for cost, low to medium for time, feasibility I put at a medium, management support was low to medium, and then the negative impact that I identified was that technology upgrades don't always lead to quick solutions, as well as the learning curve that would be needed on both the customers and CSR's end. In terms of process redesign, I graded the cost to be low to medium cost. Time would be medium to high because of the deeper analysis that would be required for redesigning and implementing a new process. Feasibility, I also put at medium, and management support, I put at a medium to high. The negative impacts that I identified in this criteria matrix is that this would require heavy analysis to lock down the exact issues in the process, development of the new process, and of course, much akin to the technology upgrade intervention, there would be a learning curve from CSRs and existing customers to learn the new process once it's actually implemented. With all of that being said, this matrix also helped inform the second intervention selection tool I utilized, which is the pros and cons analysis approach. I decided to use the pros and cons analysis tool to help inform my final decision on the intervention selection process. So starting with the system level intervention technology upgrade, I identified a few pros. Updating the automated system would be able to foster comfort and trust from the customers, thus having more bookings through that system as opposed to clogging the call system, as well as making changes to the website and how it functions will also allow more agency from the customers and less dependency on CSRs to take care of all of the intricacies of booking and billing. A few of the cons, however, I have a few general statements. In general, technology upgrades don't always lead to holistic solutions. Typically, they kind of target symptoms of the performance gaps. Also, introducing robust technology upgrades could be costly for the company. This type of technology update that was listed prior focuses on external processes from the customer's end rather than the internal processes, which potentially could have more issues or more causes to the issues laid out. And then, of course, as I had mentioned before, there will be a learning curve on both the customer and CSR's ends. Now, the process level intervention, process redesign, some of the pros that I lined out are redesigning the process could relieve some of the stress that CSRs are experiencing due to high call volume, which in turn would allow them to basically allow them to prioritize other more pressing tasks, whether it's their special projects or other things that are definitively needed to be on the phone or handled on the phone. Prioritization of tasks for the CSRs as well will help illuminate which parts of the process, as I had mentioned before, need to be handled over the phone or which could be automated. Could be automated. Implementations of a process redesign also can have holistic and lasting effects, being more sustainable. A few of the cons, as I had mentioned before, however, would require heavy analysis to lock down the exact issues in the process development or the process and the development of the new process. There will still be some type of change to the automated system, whether it's an upgrade or a restructure. And of course, like the previous intervention, a learning curve from CSRs and existing customers would be needed. After reviewing my criteria matrix and conducting the pros and cons analysis, I landed on the following intervention. Between the two, I decided that the process level intervention process redesign was the stronger of the two. I am fully convinced that focusing on redesigning the process would lead to a more holistic and sustainable solution in the end. I personally feel that simply sticking with just technology upgrades as a primary intervention would only resolve symptoms of the performance gap, as opposed to addressing the root cause of the gap in question. I do recognize, however, that a technology upgrade and update would potentially still be an aspect of the process redesign intervention. But anyway, I would like to thank you for watching my presentation on case study number 3. I look forward to seeing the feedback of my analysis of this portion of the case study, and I hope to continue to move forward with this intervention in the last portion of the project. Thank you.